Guys, thank you so much for being here on the Lead Gen Underground. We have some other people rolling in, and they normally roll in at like 402, 403, expecting like 25, 30 people on today. So thank you so much for being here. We have my buddy Corey Geary. I met this guy like 2.5 years ago at a John Martinez boot camp where we both went to learn some new sales strategies. And man, that was a game changer for me. Was it a game changer for you, Corey?
Absolutely, man. I took that stuff right back home and implemented it, and it was definitely a game changer, man. And I still teach the team John Martinez stuff on closing deals, man. That was just because the stuff you learned was it put the light switch on. For me, it's like, okay, I need to really dive into pain, figure out the picture perfect, figure out, and it changed exactly how I do my deals and it changed the conversations I was having with homeowners. That was for
Absolutely. Sure. Absolutely did. All right, give everyone just a 30, 60-second overview of your business. What market are you in? What secondary markets are you working? What's your exit strategy? How many deals a month you doing? That kind of thing.
Okay, so my name is Corey Geary. Business is True Top Offer and Prestige Property Group. We have 2 LLCs we use depending on the markets that we're in. We're doing roughly probably anywhere from 20 to 30 deals a month. Right now, I currently have 42 deals on whiteboard. Over half of them are sold. Major market though is here in Arizona. I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and so with majors, Phoenix and Tucson, I love deals here. So about half of our deals on the whiteboard from there. Secondary markets we're in 9 different markets. We're in Arizona, Nevada, Ohio, Texas, California, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia. And I think I'm missing one. We're always adding one in every couple of weeks to a month. My goal is to keep scaling that up, hopefully get to 20 to 30 markets eventually. It's going to take some time because you got to scale the team and scale your skills at the same time. So, but that's currently in those markets we're PPC heavy. Where in my market, we do mainly telecommunications.
Okay, got it. Dude, that's awesome. So the 9 markets, how did you go about picking those?
I went on, so a couple things. I went on, just Googled best real estate markets growth in United States to kind of see what was like, basically what other people and companies thought was the best markets for real estate growth. I looked at states that you can list your wholesale deals on the MLS for disposition strategy. And also states where I know other wholesalers who have good relationships with. That way, if I need to JV with somebody, I can pick up the phone and utilize somebody else's buyers list if need be.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing. So in the other states, it sounds like you're selling some of your own deals, but also listing them on the MLS and also JVing with people?
Yeah. So the JVing happens hardly ever. We have protocols that we go through to sell deals. The JV is the last protocol. Obviously, try to sell the deal ourselves or sell it in MLS. If we have MLS access in the state, usually that is our number one disposition strategy. Like Ohio, it is fire. We list everything MLS and it pops. We don't know how to do any work as far as pulling buyers and texting realtors or any of that stuff because we just put in MLS and then the buyers are calling my dispositions manager. So it's a great market.
That's awesome right there. Is everything for you guys an assignment of contract wholesale?
For the most part, unless it's local, I do fix and flips here locally. I just took down a property yesterday here in Mesa. It's going to be a great fix and flip. So if it's local and I see the deal and I like it, then I'm the end buyer. But out of state, we haven't done anything. I'm going to start. I've been thinking about closing some deals in Ohio because Ohio, the price point is so cheap. You can get in some of these houses between $5,000 and $10,000, and the rents are good. So your cap rates are amazing. We have some players, here in Phoenix who just buy in Ohio, close them, and they're collect. I got one guy, he's a friend of mine, and Chris Santaveros. He owns like 160 doors out there in Ohio, but he lives here because he's a buy and hold guy. So it's a great market for that strategy. So I've been thinking about maybe moving that direction soon here in the future.
Gotcha. Okay. Dude, really quickly, talk about your team structure. So you're basically the CEO. What else? What does everyone else on your team do? How many people? What do they do?
There's 7. There's 8 of us total, including me. So I got 4 acquisition agents. Their only job is to hammer the phones, get the leads, hammer the leads, get them on the phone and close over the phone. That's their only job. got a dispositions manager. He's responsible for selling all the deals and responsible for bringing JV deals in. A lot of networking, a lot of relationship building. And then I got a TC. The TC he's handling title work. He's helping my disposition pull list. And then if like there's issues with like reaching out, getting sellers to get kind of title, he'll work with the acquisitions too. Then I have a realtor that's in-house. She picks up all our local listing leads and works those angles to try to convert into listings. And then that's it, man. Then there's me. And then plus I got a bunch of VAs. I got 2 VAs in the Philippines. And then I have, those are like basically admin VAs. They're doing a lot of skip tracing for me, list pooling, and just do my scorecards, manage my KPIs, stuff like that. That way I always know how the business is doing. And then, yeah, that's it. I got 5 cold callers in Ecuador. So that's kind of, yeah. I had 10 in-house at one point, and that was brain damage.
Why did you go away from that? Because that's a thought that I've had before, and I don't want that management type of experience in-house. But why did you step away from that?
Just for that reason right there, because it's a whole nother business in itself, and it took so much time and energy from me to manage them and make sure the training was done right, the phone calls right. It took so much. And here locally, you got to pay them decent. I was paying them $14 an hour. Where in Ecuador, I'm paying them $5 an hour, and there's somebody managing for me, and they speak Spanish. So it's like it was just too much for me to handle all of, especially when I started hiring acquisitions and dispositions, and I was trying to juggle all that at the same time. I was like, I got to let this go, and my ROI was really hurting on it, and I was like, I got to cut this and then figure something else out, and that's what happened. So it's just, yeah.
Dude, I feel for you. It sounds like you're doing awesome, but running the ops and being the visionary type, that's a heavy, heavy lift right there. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you split your time? It sounds like you're not doing much in acquisitions anymore, where your guys are. Is that what I'm hearing, or?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, anytime I'm doing the acquisitions, it's training. So I do a lot of sales training with those guys. It could be training on sales or training how to comp, or training on, if you run into this issue, this is how you take care of it or resolve it, right? So that's mainly where in acquisitions, I'm not on the phones talking to sellers, hardly ever, unless there's like a really big problem that I need to get involved with, lawsuit or something like that, and then I'm on the phone with them. But other than that, no. So my time's mainly spent now. I run my own marketing. That's a lot of my time. So I come in here, I manage all my own marketing and figure out title issues. I love working with dispositions. So I'm sitting here with Sylvester. Me and Sylvester share an office. He's my dispositions manager. I love that part of the business. I love, hearing the conversations with his, buyers and realtors and dealing with the title issues. So a lot of the day is that, and networking and doing masterminds and having Zoom calls like this. That's where all my time is. It's it's funny because I remember my time before I was spending like 12, 13 hours in the business. Now it's like I'm working on the business, and my time is really. Some days I'll be sitting here and just watching videos. And like, man, I got nothing to do. Everyone's working, deals are happening. I'm like, hey, nothing to do. I got to do something. I'm gonna work on some PPC, and I'll go in there and just mess around with PPC just because I'm bored. But yeah, it's going more and more, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. Maybe one day when I'm fully hands off this, then it's time to start another business.
Yeah, got you there, man. All right, guys, if you have questions, drop them in the comments, and I will start to ask those that come up first. Last time we just got hammered with questions at the end. I couldn't get to them all. All right, Corey, so we talked about you're in 9 markets now. Your main one is in Arizona, where you're doing a lot of cold calling, telecommunications. The other ones are PPC. So in those other markets, you're doing all PPC. What do you think your average daily or monthly budget is out there?
Right now, I'm about, the last I checked, I was at 22,000. I think we'll probably do 25,000 this month is what we're going to spend in PPC. But it's fine because my cost per click is so low. My cost per conversion right now is $48 per conversion nationwide. Sean Terry and Nick, they have it way cheaper than that, so, but I'm working on that, getting it down. But I mean, there was a time where I was doing PPC locally. My cost of conversion was like $300. I remember that. So I'm just happy to be under $50. So that's about the budget, So it's about 20 to 25,000 a month right now. And as I'm adding more markets, obviously that budget goes up. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you say conversion, that's like a form submission?
Correct. Yep.
There we go. Okay, very good. And are you guys getting, here's one thing I've noticed. We've just started PPC in the past few months. It's been awesome for us so far. The best leads for us, though, have not been form submissions. They've been calls.
Yeah,
right?
we get to.
Right in our little ad preview, it has the number that rings directly to my cell. And then we get a whisper message, and it just says call from Google PPC. And dude, those are the hottest. Are you guys getting those too?
We are getting them. They get routed right to my acquisition agents. And they pick them up live.
Dude, I love it. Love it. Okay.
We pick up live almost everything that comes, even RVM. We have an RVM set up, what's called IVR, where you press 1 to get connected to my, my assistant and get your cash offer, or press 9 to be put on the do not call list. So we have a lot of those press 1s. Of course, they are pressing 1 until it's F off still. But every once in a while, you get that 1%, 2%. They're like, yeah, I'm interested in selling my house. And then those are really hot leads. So if you can, you want to capture the hottest leads right on the phone, man. Those are easy to convert.
So guys, Corey is probably doing the most RVMs out of anyone that I know. There's not too many people that are just dropping them in mass. And, there's a few reasons why. I've known some people to get sued and stuff like that. But beside that, I mean, Corey, talk a little bit about, some of the specifics of RVM in terms of, you just said you run it through an IVR menu and then it's coming in live, and some people tell you to fuck off and other people are pressing 9 to opt out. What do you think are some of the specifics or some of the strategies that you guys are using that make you successful there?
So that's one. The second strategy is we have 2 different phone numbers. We have a phone number that is on the message. If they call back that number, then it gets routed to that IVR. If they just call back the phone number that we're using for the RVM, the number that went into the drop, we know they didn't listen to the message. They just call that number. It's probably not a hot lead. It's just somebody calling to say, tell us to F off, or why did you call me, or whatever it is. That's going to a direct voicemail. We're not taking that call, inbound hot or live. So those two techniques were massive when we were scaling RVM. Otherwise, if you just do RVM and have them call back the number and you don't have any kind of filtration process, you're going to have a shit ton of calls, and 99% of them will tell you to F off. And you're just going to be flooded all day long on the phone. So you got to pre-qualify a little bit.
Guys, that was a gold nugget right there. I don't know if any of you on here are doing RVM, looking to start RVM. Terrific channel, really efficient budget-wise. But that's a really important nugget. And so just to reiterate, when you send out an RVM, it's just like any other phone number. It'll show up as like a missed call from one number, right? If they don't listen to it and just dial it back, you'll get a lot of callbacks, and people will be like, you called me, who is this? Who is this? And you're like, wait a minute, you realize they didn't listen to the message. So when you're saying the message, if you say a different number, call me back at blah, rather than the number it has a missed call from, you're guaranteed that they've listened to the message. And if they've listened to the message and then call you back, you assume that they have some sort of interest in talking to you. You're filtering out a lot of tire kickers from there. So that's a golden tip right there.
Yep. So between that and IVR, man, you're still going to get you still once in a while get your FUs, or the people who are really trying to, go down that rabbit hole to sue you. And we get that, they entrap us. They pretend like they're a homeowner who wants to sell, and then, they're going through the whole steps. And then once we get the contract over, then we get, we get served with their paperwork, and it's like, okay, I just send it over to my attorney. So
get out of town. People try to trap you with that?
Entrap us, yeah, it happens. I got sued probably, they tried to attempt to sue us probably 3 times last year, and we've had it once this year so far.
And you settle or what?
Yeah, usually, or my lawyer squashes it completely. A couple times he squashed them completely, and then we didn't give him no money. But obviously, I got to pay the attorney. The attorney's not cheap. But I got a beast of an attorney. I got Carlson Sally. You guys all know them. They referred me to their attorney. His name's Cordero. This guy is a shark, and he works mainly with just wholesalers. And he knows basically the DNC laws and all that. And he's a beast, man. And he's saved us a lot of money in the long run.
All right. Are there any tips there that you can give to keep people from getting sued? How should they respect the DNC laws or anything else intricate there we should know?
I mean, yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple more tips here. First thing, if you scrub the DNC list, you're going to end up losing about 2/3 of your list. So that sucks. And I know I get deals off that list, so I don't scrub. Now, I'm not saying that you should not. Please do your own, make your own decision on that, because obviously there's the consequences that come with it. But a couple things you can do to protect yourself. Make sure you are scrubbing against the litigator list. That's one. Always scrub against the litigator list. This litigator list is people who are known for suing people like us, and that's what they make a living at it. And so this list is gold. So scrub your data against that. Second, get an LLC that is hidden. So where it does not show the managing member. And then I mean that some states are like Delaware. Delaware, you can get an LLC in Delaware, and it will not show the managing member of that LLC. So when they go to try to find you, they won't be able to find the LLC and who owns the LLC. So that's why when we first started, I said I'm with True Top Offer and Prestige Property Group. True Top Offer, it shows me as basically the CEO of the company. Prestige Property Group is a non-disclosure. Nobody can find who the owner of Prestige Property Group is. That when I admit on here. But
so is that just the name that you guys are disclosing when you're using RVMs only, or?
For the most part, we're doing mainly now on our nationwide marketing too. So anything nationwide, we're using Prestige Property Group and any of our telecommunications. So most of our stuff, we're going to end up probably going 100% in the future Prestige Property Group. We're just True Top Offer here, a local on some of our stuff. That's how I started, was True Top Offer, but then after we get into, I lost you. I lost you, Josh. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Oh, and another thing you want to do too is if you're gonna answer live, when your agents first answer the phone, don't even answer with your LLC. Answer with something so vague, like they answer Home Buyers Network. Thanks for calling Home Buyers Network. This is Nathan talking. This is Nathan, and then that's how they go into the conversation. They don't even answer with the LLC, but they're going through two filters. We're going to represent ourselves as Home Buyers Network, and then once we see the contract, then it's going to be okay. We're going to be sending it out as Prestige Property Group. We're an umbrella of investors here, and this is one of the investor companies here that we're going to use to buy their property with. So, and that's how we send the contract out to help protect us. So it's two filters. So the first thing, you always use a female's voice. That's just, people hate guys. I don't know. They want to tell us to F off before they want to tell females to F off. But that's the first thing. And, you want to keep it simple and short. A lot of the gurus, they have these big, long RVM messages. No. You want to keep it simple and short, get right to the point. One of our messages is like, she's like, hey, this is Lisa. I'm a local investor, and I was driving around your neighborhood, and I saw your house, and just wondered if you would want a cash offer on it. We're buying like 5 properties next month. Please give me a call back if you're interested. And then there's the phone number. So that's one example. And the other one's even more simple than that. Hey, my name is, I have another name. I think the other one is Judy. And just tell your, going through the local landlords. Oh no, I'm a local landlord, and I was wondering if you'd be willing to sell your house. Something simple like that. I think I have 3 or 4 of them. We rotate them every couple months. Every time we hit it back again, so we go through all the data on one RVM, and then if we're going to go back again, I rotate out the message. Yeah, let me look again, because I just signed up with these guys. Hot voice leads, I memorized this. Here we go. I just had it up. It is hotlivetransfers.com is what it is. And like I said, this is a guy, he just started a company. He's an entrepreneur who used to work for Just Deliver. Just Deliver, a big RVM company. And he broke off and did his own thing. And so far, I'm loving it. I mean, we're getting a lot of leads from it. We've been doing it for a week. And so we'll just see how it goes. I just know my cost per drop is so cheap. I mean, it was like 55% cheaper than I was getting before. So the Red Oaks would be the one contracting the property. Yeah, and then the Homestead is just your umbrella. Yeah, there's a bunch of us investment companies who work here, and we're going to be using red properties for the contract. It's the LLC we're going to be buying the property with. So You just explain to the homeowner once it starts getting a little more serious. I mean, it works just like when you're doing it in person, there's a lot of follow-up. I mean, most of your deals are still going to come from follow-up. You get the occasional hot ones, and those are usually PPC, obviously, because PPC are your hottest leads where you might be able to close them 1 or 2 calls, or maybe 3, or maybe you'll close them that day with a 2 or 3 call process. But the majority of your deals are still coming just for follow-up, and you still have to keep following up every day, every week, every month, whatever they told you, cut it in half, follow up, until they either tell you to F off or they sold the property, and that's basically it. You just got to be a shark as far as follow-up is concerned. And but I mean, like I said, PPC leads, they are hotter leads than your cold call, RVM, and then those type of leads. Those leads are really cold. At least with the PPC leads, they're coming to you. They actually do want to sell, and they filled your web submission form, or they called you. So I mean, it's like this is the best kind of lead you can possibly get. They're not going to call you to sue you. You went to me. I mean, it's like, so yeah. So that's it. And man, they're on the phone. They're going through the whole trying to get, where are they trying to go from the sale of this property? That is the main key. You need to stay in that area in the pain, and where they want to go, the picture perfect for as long as you can to try to get the move the deal forward. So yeah, that's totally it, man. Absolutely 100% correct. It's the same over the phone as you would in person. I mean, instantly. I mean, this is about as simple as it gets. Why are you interested in selling the property? Obviously, what is making you want to sell so quickly, or at time frames, the other one, when are you wanting to sell the property, how quickly, and where you want to go. So it's between why, when, and that's basically the 2 biggest qualifiers, right? And my ACWs are better at closing deals now probably than I am. They've gotten it down so well. I got one, man. She closed, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. She got 8 contracts in 1 week. She is such a shark. Yeah. She's been with me since day one. She started as a cold caller, and like she was so amazing on the phone. I was like, "You want to try acquisitions?" She's like, "Yeah, of course." I'm like, "All right, let's do this." So, I thought of the other one, the other person we use for training, Stephen Morales. Stephen Morales is training for the acquisitions, and when someone gets hired on, they have to go through all the Steve Morales videos, and they have to go through all the John Martin stuff before they even start, getting on the phones and making offers. It really is, man, especially if you're doing virtual over the phone. And I tell my ACWs, and that's exactly what we tell them all the time, and I think it takes about 3 to 6 months before you can get to that point where you, like you said, when you're in that conversation, it's like, oh, this is that lead. Okay, here we go. And it takes some time to really get that, you have to have a lot of conversations with homeowners before you know this is the right lead. And yeah, man, that's totally it. So different strategies there too, man. So in my home market, I've been building my email buyers list ever since I started, right? And we are very successful at selling deals from our home market. In fact, we do a lot of JV deals with other wholesalers and realtors because we're able to disposition them pretty easily here. Nationwide markets, it gets a little more difficult. As soon as we lock a deal up, we are pulling all the realtors and cash buyers and any realtors who represent flippers in that market, and we're text broadcasting them. And it's or picking the phone up and just calling them. So if we see there's 5 realtors who represent flippers in that neighborhood where we just lock that deal up, my disposition is going to pick up the phone and call these realtors. Hey, I just got a property at 123 Main Street. I saw that you represented a flipper over on, or maybe if that flipper is or that realtor is the fix and flipper. A lot of fix and flippers are realtors. So, and that's what we do in the local one. So literally we are getting the deal first and then going after the buyers second. I bought every single realtor's email and phone number in the whole United States. So I have every single, there's a database. I don't know where they pull their data from, but it's pretty accurate. And that cost us, I think it was $3,500, $3,800. And it was every single realtor's email and phone number in the whole United States. So any market we're going to, I go in there, pull the realtors out. We go on realtor.com, find out all the realtors who represent buyers. We go in the prop streams and prop stream and pull all the flippers who represented, realtors who represented flippers. And then if we don't sell the deal that way, then we pull a cash buyers list and skip trace it and then use that list. So, but that's like one of the last. And then if all that doesn't work, then we JV. So yeah, I'm in the huge all that stuff you just said. So I read every single night, especially especially in the middle of the week. In the middle of the week, man, I'm devoted to work, devoted to coming home and improving myself, my mind. I work out too. I run 3 miles a day. I read whatever. It's not always business reading either. I'll read about self-development. I'm big into meditation. So that's another thing. Morning routines, everything. I get up in the morning. I meditate for 45 minutes when I first get up. Then I go run 3 miles. Then I do my affirmations. Then I write my gratitude journal. And then I pray. And it's just and then I start getting ready for work, right? So this type of mindset comes from my morning routine, and I call it the warrior's breakfast. You get up, and I'm doing all these things that are not just improving even my mental health, my spiritual health, my physical health. I want to try to hit all that, and it's huge, man. Just for your self-confidence, and and to drive you through the day to want to achieve that next goal comes from mindset, man. It comes completely 100% from mindset. And if you're bogged down with all these problems and issues and depression or whatever, you got to figure, there's stuff inside you have to fix before you try to, go out and try to tackle a business and run a team and try to do all that. So it's, yeah, man, I'll tell you real quick, what was the biggest game changer was a book, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I went to that book. I started doing the meditations. And during that time, I was also coaching with Joe Dillon. During that, it was all happening at once. I started getting 6-figure months right after I was doing those meditations and having the coaching, and it all came together. It was amazing. So, it's a combination of everything, right? It's mindset, putting the work in, and learning, and just implementing. It's just such a, I agree 100%, man. I tell people all the time, real estate saved my life, because when I was in the casino business, all it was is partying, drinking, work, go to sleep, party. That's all it was. And then I started flipping houses, and then I got into wholesaling, and then I got into these masterminds and learning self-development, and it all started with, I want to flip a house and make some money, and then it just snowballed into this whole self-development thing. It's been amazing for my life. Amazing. I'll answer the first one. It's real-estates-agents-list.com. So yeah, real with a dash, agent-list-.com. If you just Google that, it should pop it up, and you should see it. So it was like $3,500 donation. But you can buy just your estate too, and it's much cheaper. Maybe $200 or $300 if you just want to buy your estate. For the meditations, I have different ones that I do. During the week, I'm usually doing just it's a quiet meditation, but there's a light music in the back, and I'm doing what's called a mantra, and you repeat the mantra in your head over and over until basically your kind of brain melts into like where you're not thinking about nothing. And then there's a real light music that's going on in the background. I got my earphones in, and that's during the week. During like Saturday, Sunday, that's when I'm kind of doing the Dr. Joe Dispenza meditations, because they're a lot longer, and those are more guided. He's guiding you through those meditations, telling you what to envision, telling you, to release this, and he's walking you through the meditations. And then he does pause for a lot of periods where you have space there to kind of clear your mind. But those meditations are the most impactful, but they do take the longest. Oh yeah, I did that back in last November, December. The great thing is I haven't had to buy data basically all this year. I just keep, I got like 1.6 million in my stacker, and I just keep recycling, and it's, I absolutely, man. If you want, you can. I'm mainly on Facebook for the most part. So if you want to, go on Facebook, Corey Geary, friend me. I mean, I don't mind. I do a lot of videos on there, just talking about business, showing the business, just talking shop. And then on Instagram, it's C Geary is my handle. I'm rarely on Instagram. I'm trying to be more, coherent about getting on there more, because I know that's where a lot of more people are turning to. And I'm just more old school. I love Facebook.